Okay, I hope you are enjoying my run through some of our deals. Why am I telling you about them? So that you can take some of the lessons you're going to learn from what I talk about and transfer it to your own work. So we are currently on deal number 5, and these were deals that I still did when I was working full time and I was raising my family, and it was pretty much working from the kitchen table. And this was the dining room table, and I worked from this table quite a lot. So I'm going to talk about Claremont Road. I've already introduced by deal 4 my first set of investors, which was because it was a complete panic because the mortgage company refused to give me, or they would give me a mortgage with 100% retention. And we'll talk about fear of getting finance in a later video, so keep watching. Now let's talk about what happens when things go wrong. So my 5th property was bought intentionally for a buy to sell. In property, there's a really sensible saying, which is buy 5, keep 3, sell 2. Or, I can't do it, buy 5, keep 2, sorry, sell 3. There you go. Why? Even though I'm a keeper, because it really helps your cash flow. So this was done as a joint venture with a neighbour of mine who was a lovely lady. We bought it, I found it for 150,000. It was worth at the time 200, so it was a little bit tight anyway in terms of margin. If I was to do it again, would I do that? Probably not. I'd want it for about 140, 135 by the time you do a refurb. And it was in a most amazing street in Bristol. So the estate agents were jumping all over themselves to sell it. Renovated it, fabulous, didn't sell. I've got an investor and it's not sold. So luckily, when I work with joint venture partners, I always tell them of all the things that could go wrong first. I would never go, hey, we're going to make loads of money. I was like, we could make money. And here's my 45 pieces of research to show what the property's worth. The estate agents, honestly, they were fighting each other to try and sell this property. I had 2 properties for sale at the time. One, they were just like, nah, we're not bothered about. This one, they were like, I want to sell that property. It's such a good street. Just didn't sell. It wasn't like the most fun time in my life. I was quite worried about it. But in property, you always have to do a plan A and a plan B. So what was plan B? Plan B was refinance it and rent it out. Now, this was way before Airbnb and Booking.com, but can I be really honest with you? I didn't want to rent it to what I would call normal 6-month tenants because I still was very much of the mindset I'm going to sell this property. As it is, I ended up paying out my investor, giving her a shed load of interest and profit, and I kept the property. So mind, I bought it for 150. It's now worth 250, so maybe I'm glad it didn't sell in the end. But I did serviced accommodation. So do you think your investors are going to trust you if you can talk to them about what we would do if it doesn't sell? So what we did at the beginning was rented it out, serviced accommodation, way before Airbnb. We were like early days, made really good money. And then we looked at it and my investors said, well, actually, Suze, I'm very happy. I put a proposal to her to give us some very good profit. She took her money. She was very happy and I retained the property. So when you are doing property and you're like, I am so sure this one's going to sell, property is like a little monkey. Property sometimes can kind of give you a little bit punch sideways. So always have a plan A and a plan B. And this one had plan A, I'm going to sell it. Plan B, I'm going to rent it out service accommodation. And then we moved it to plan C, I'm going to rent it out as a single AST. And it's gone up by 100 grand in about 9 years, so I'm quite happy, making good profit from it. But it gave me a few heart moments in the early days. So be nimble as a property entrepreneur because nothing ever quite goes to plan, does it? I hope that's useful. Good luck yourselves. See you soon. If you want to keep up to date, because we've got tons of helpful information for you on how to make money in property, subscribe to my channel and turn your notifications on.